Have any of you guys seen the coverage about Hunter Biden? Not just the whole prostitute thing, but now he's got the video of him getting high on crack. You've seen that? I don't think you have.
This is our future baby daddy. You naughty horse. Hey. Oh. I just weighed out the bag. It's 2.06.
2.07 without the bag.
So how long is
The other one was him trying to convince a prostitute. He was covering for himself. He's so smart. Joe Biden said he is the smartest man I know.
He's a grown man. He is the smartest man I know. I mean, in sort of pure intellectual capacity. And as long as he's good, we're good.
So in his mind, he thought, you know what? I need to record this Russian prostitute that I owe $9,500 to, so that I can cover myself in case she says I hit her or anything. So he goes downstairs with a camera and says, "Hey, are you okay? I didn't touch you in any inappropriate way, did I? Did I mistreat you in any way?" He thought this was a good thing.
Sweetheart? Hey, are you okay? Everything fine? Are you hurt in any way?
Okay.
Any way? Are you hurt? Hey, is anything hurt on you? Anything? I was literally saying, I'm sorry that it took so long to give you $10,000. Do you have any bruise? Anything? Have I ever touched you in a bad way? Ever? Have I asked you every time if I could touch you? Every time. Sweetheart, look at me. You cannot talk to me that way and say things like that. Because I'm more respectful than anyone you've ever met. Are you okay? What? Here.
No.
I thought you said you wanted water. It's the only water I have.
That's how smart he is. He thought it was a good idea. Hey, well, if this hooker goes and tells the world that I did something to her, that would be worse. Completely ignoring the fact that he's out there with a hooker. Maybe that's the problem. And he owed her $9,500. His father called and said, "Hey, no, that was a separate story. His father didn't call. His father, there's a voicemail out now where his father called right before the real stories leaked about Burisma and his business dealings over with that, what's that guy's name? Zelensky? I don't know who that guy is. It could be anybody. When Trump asked that guy to look into his son, there was a written article about Hunter, and Joe Biden called Hunter, "Hey, just letting you know, I think we're good. There's a story coming out tomorrow. I think you're good."
Hey, pal, it's Dad. It's 8:15 on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just want to talk to you. I thought the article, at least the thing online, it's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think it's clear. And anyway, if you get a chance, give me a call. I love you. I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business.
Voicemail of the president talking to his son about his overseas business dealings. If the president has said he's never spoken to his son about his overseas business dealings.
Well, first I'll say that what the president said stands. So if that's what the president said, that is what stands. And
secondly, about a New York Times article concerning Hunter Biden's business dealings, and he says, "I think you're clear." How is that not him talking to his son about his overseas business dealings?
We're not, from this podium, I am not going to talk about alleged materials from the laptop.
So are you disputing the president's voice on the voicemail?
I am not going to talk about alleged materials on the laptop.
Are
it's
you
not
disputing
happening.
Then that it is not?
Peter, I refer you to his son's representative.
Okay.
In other words, this journalist ran across the president, or the candidate, the Democrat candidate. If he was even a candidate at the time, he may have just been, I don't know if he was, I don't even know if this was after the primaries. Either way, he called his son and says, "Yeah, I think we're good. I got to see the article ahead of time," because that's real journalism. They didn't ask him questions. They just said, "Hey, can you proofread this for us?" So we don't want to hurt your standing in the party. So that's one thing. That's the first thing. Joe Biden's not thinking. He doesn't know what's going on around him. He's got people doing everything for him. They'll just slip on a piece of paper and say, "Hey, can you sign this?" Sure. What is it? After he signs our lives away. Somebody slipping him those papers decided it would be a good idea to send 5 million barrels of oil to the Netherlands, I think maybe France, India, and China.
There's a Reuters report out this morning that says that more than 5 million barrels of oil that were released from the emergency oil reserves were exported to Europe and Asia last month, and some of it reportedly was actually heading to China. Is the administration aware of those reports, and does the president mind that some of this oil that was meant to ease pain for consumers is headed overseas?
I have not seen that report, so I would honestly have to go look into it and see what the truth is in that statement that you just laid out, and see exactly what's happening. I just have not seen that report.
Isn't he so nice? I just paid $66 because I only had a quarter tank left to fill up my car just now. But he sent 5 million barrels of oil overseas to help other people. They're struggling. You didn't know? I love when they talk about inflation and he says, yeah, but it's not the worst. There's other countries that have worse inflation. Oh, okay, so I feel better about it now.
Why is the president saying that inflation is worse everywhere but here?
Because what we have seen across the globe, first of all, inflation is a global challenge, as we have said. It is caused by clearly the pandemic, this once-in-a-generation pandemic that we are coming out of, and also most recently the war that Putin started in Ukraine that has caused inflation as we look at food and as we look at gas prices. So if you look at globally other countries, and if you look at where we are economically, when you think about the Group 7, the G7, we are in a much stronger place than we are economically than
globally, though. He says that inflation is worse everywhere but here. That's not true. U.S. has worse inflation than Germany, France, Japan, Canada, India, Italy, Saudi Arabia.
Well,
so why is he saying that?
I think what we are saying is that when you talk about inflation, it is a global thing. And it is not just about the United States. This is something that everyone is feeling because of coming out of a once in a lifetime pandemic, because of the war that Russia has started in Ukraine. Here's the thing, Peter. If the president had not taken the actions that he's taken in the past several months, the prices that we see now would be a lot worse. It's actually blunted some of the increase that could have been. And so the president has taken action. He has been a leader. Now he's asking Congress clearly to act in certain ways, and also asking for the oil refineries to do their part and not make money off of a time of war. That's what we're talking about here.
I'll go back to getting that 4 pounds of beef for $23. I love how they do that, but it could be worse. Not how it's going to get better. It could be worse. The smartest man I know. Why are we always so interested in helping other countries before ours? The reason Trump was so popular, despite what people thought of him, he chose to take care of our houses first. And then once we get on a good foundation, we have a good place to live. Now we can better help people. Because you can't help people if you're struggling. I mean, I guess you can, because I guess it could be worse. But logically, you would want to be in a much better position so you can help more, not throw scraps. Like, I don't know what I would do if my son only had 5 outfits and my wife gave away 2 or 3 of them to somebody else before we had an opportunity to get him something new. That's not a sacrifice I'm really willing to make, not with a country. Maybe with another family member. But that would be a problem in my home. Just saying. I'm just saying. You did what? You took whose clothes? Oh, we have a problem. That's just how I live. That's how I think. And I can't imagine what the thought process is. Because Governor Abbott, I'm in Texas, decided we're going to take $3 billion and we're going to go down to the border and we're going to secure it, even though that's the federal government's job. The federal government is saying, yeah, we're not going to do that. But here's what's worse. Because our governor has an obligation to serve us, his people, his state, his constituency, he said, we're going to do it. What does Biden do? Or actually, not Biden, his people. They sent Merrick Garland down here and say, that's racist. You don't secure the border. It's in the Constitution. You don't have a country without borders. Mexico knows that. That's why their southern border is so secure.
Many are from the city of San Pedro Sula in Honduras, which has one of the highest murder rates in the world. But those attempting to cross are being met with resistance. Both Mexico and Guatemala sent hundreds of federal officers to their mutual border to try and prevent the immigrants from reaching the U.S.
Apparently that doesn't matter. And this isn't even about Mexicans anymore. This is about anybody who wants to come into this country illegally knows where to go and how to get here. We don't know who these people are. We don't really care who they are, as long as they don't come here the wrong way. But this is the world we're living in. We want to open up the borders. Gavin Newsom of California is now footing the bill for healthcare, abortions, food stamps, cash assistance for illegals in his state.
California is poised to be, if this proposal is supported, the first state in the country to achieve universal access to health coverage. So what does that mean? It means full scope Medi-Cal, including long-term care, IHSS, behavioral health to all low-income Californians, regardless of immigration status, regardless of their age, regardless of their immigration status. Full implementation will initiate January 2024 if this is approved.
Hey, do what you gotta do, man. That's your state. They gotta deal with the repercussions. That's on them. But don't act confused when 2022 midterm elections are a full-on sweep and you guys get destroyed, because that's what's gonna happen.